Hey YouTube, this is Rescue Amusement Park Fan 62. This is stuff for Halloween Haunt I wish would come back. Now, please note this, I'm not going to contain every single haunted house, scare zone, and show that has come to the park since Halloween Haunt started under the Cedar Fair. I'm only talking about from what I've personally seen and um, why I think it should come back. First one, uh, the, this first few are going to be scare zones. First one is Freak Street. Now, Freak Street was rather cool because they took the path that goes from the Eiffel Tower going into Planet Snoopy and kind of made it where it was sort of like a sideshow type thing. But I just kind of wish it kind of went into Planet Snoopy more than what it did. Um, so I just wish they would kind of go along with that some more and not just kind of made it along that one path because it was kind of like okay, but it had its potential. The next one that was actually close to Freak Street, this was going more toward Action Zone, was Wasteland. Wasteland was rather cool because it was like a wasteland zombie type thing. So you would see like these barrels full of like chemicals, um, and like people turning into zombies and stuff like that. It was rather cool to see. Um, it only had a short run. It was only like a few years. I'm not just sure if it was not due to because of its popularity or maybe they just couldn't get stuff for it. I don't know. The next one is now this is a show, um, Hot Blooded. Now, Hot Blooded was a musical number where it was sort of like a sexy vampire meets human type thing. And even like the person introducing it, even at the arena, and even on the park's intercom throughout the park, it was like seductive. So it was trying to lure you to watch it. You can actually probably find videos of it on YouTube as well as the announcement for it. And it was rather cool because it was like, now a lot of it was the same music every year, but it was just rather cool to see because it was like these two people see like a person on like a zip line with a vampire coming toward them, and then they start singing "Hot Blooded." So that was rather cool to see. Um, the next one would be Field of Screams. Now, Field of Screams was short lived as well. It was only like two, maybe three seasons long. Um, and this was pre-pandemic stuff. I'm not sure if it was just because it wasn't popular enough, like they thought it would be. Maybe they just couldn't get people for it. I don't know, but I would like to see something like that come back. You see like that at most parks, I should say, or something do like Corn Stalkers or something like that. Um, something in that ballpark. The next one I actually just thought about too was this took place in the Planet Snoopy uh, amphitheater. It was only like one season, maybe two. And that was I'm not entirely sure the name of the maze, but it was basically a holiday of horrors maze. So they basically took each maze, each holiday, major holiday, I should say, and made it go wrong. So, it was different stuff like that. Um, I'm not. eh, It was one of those things where I just felt like it was a good concept, but they just put it in the wrong area. Um, Now, the next one is Field of Screams, like I've said. Now, another one. Now, this is one that I'm surprised that actually didn't come back for this year, and that was I can't think of the name of the scare zone, but it was like a pirate themed scare zone. Um, it was in the Action Zone area last year, and it was rather unique. I'll give it that, but it had more potential, and I just don't think Kings Island went with the potential. They just used what they had, and didn't really put too much into it. Now, another one that was rather popular, but I know the reason why they can't do it anymore is Wolfpack. Now, Wolfpack was a maze that took place in the former Son of Beast um, loading platform. Now, the reason why they can't do it anymore, from what I understand, is because the platform itself is not physically stable. While it is standing, it's not stable enough to support people. So I understand that, but I just wish they could have moved a lot of that off that platform and put it somewhere else. Now, another one that's actually close to Wolfpack that was popular that I actually wish would come back is Club Blood. Now, Club Blood was a maze where it was basically vampires took over like a dance club, or it was more like a dance club type thing, and it was rather cool to see. Now, the main problem has been with a lot of these is they don't really last that long. I'm just not sure if it's because of popularity, uh, maybe because it doesn't get enough people through, so it doesn't make sense to pay people to do it. I don't know, but I just wish they would kind of give these mazes more of a chance and scare zones. Now, the scare zones for Kings Island to a point, while it is not universal quality, it's up there. Now, the main problem with it is minus a few, of course. Um, they don't have many props for these scare zones. The only ones that really had a decent amount of props was like the the pirate themed one from last year and a couple others. But Kings Island's main problem with Haunt is I just don't know if they just look off numbers based off people who've gone through the house, based off of people come through for Haunt, period. I don't know. But the problem that Kings Island does is they have these houses and scare zones to a point, that they keep every single year, but then they don't really add much or change things around or something like that. And it's a shame because, like a lot of these houses have potential and these mazes, but the problem is I just don't know if, like, first of all, I don't know if Kings Island has their own department just for Haunt itself. They probably do. The main problem is that they don't go in fully with these. They just kind of put it together, see if it works, see how the public acts to it, and then go from there. But like certain houses that they've come up with in the past, such as Kilmart, for example, has been a fan favorite, and I feel like that's going to be one that's going to stay around for a long period of time because it's been at Kings Island since 2017 or 2018. And unless Kilmar goes downhill or something in that ballpark, it's going to be a fan favorite. But the main problem is just like the Coney Mall, for example, for the Coney Mall area, they just redo the term mall. So instead of it saying so during the day it's Coney Mall, then for Haunt it goes Maul. And the problem with a lot of the props they have in for that is I guess it's more of like a sideshow looking props. So you have this like one guy, for example, with like a big eyeball, or like this two-headed parent holding a baby, or like this evil clown looking thing, stuff like that. Um, well, they are cool to see. I just wish they would either switch Coney Mall up a little bit so it either has a new element to it or something like that, or ditch it and come up with something new. Um, Coney Mall has kind of almost run its course, and I just wish they would come up with something new. Now, with Pumpkin Eaters, that's a cool scare zone because it's like you can do a lot more with pumpkins. Um, and I'm glad they moved it from that small little section going between Rivertown, going back toward like Shake, Rattle, and Roll, Windseeker, in that area. Because that part would always get so congested. So I am glad they moved it to Action Zone, but I just I don't know if that was kind of like a last minute ordeal or what, but from what I've from videos that I've seen of it, they need kind of like more pumpkins and stuff like that for it. And maybe depending on how this year goes, they will do that for Haunt next year. I don't know. For Area 72, and this is based on videos I've seen. I will get to see it live, but the Area 72, from what I've seen, I don't know if that was sort of like a last minute ordeal. So it was one of those they kind of thought about, let's say maybe around the time the park was opening. I don't know. But all it is just basically crates with maybe water in it with different like light colors through it. So you have like some that are green and some that are blue. Now, the costumes I've seen in it are kind of cool, but I just wish they would have something to make it like an alien themed one. Um, so like like have like a alien spaceship or something. Um, Another one is now the Hotel Saint Michelle one I've heard is good, and I am glad they did something out of the box as far as mazes are concerned. Now, I'm just worried with Hotel Saint Michelle, unless it's one of those that stays popular over the course of, let's say, 2 to 3 haunt seasons. I'm concerned that's going to be one that's going to go away within the next few years, and get replaced with something else. I hope not, but we will see on that. Now, with Madame Fatale's Cabin of Terror, from what I've heard, it's a cool maze. And I am glad they are using the old um, Tomb Raider ride plot. But with that being said, how can you make stuff like wax figures scary? I don't know. And lastly, with International Street Fair, from what I've seen, it's not bad, but it can use more.